This video about intermittent hypoxia and how to use it as anti-aging. As always, I recommend you to download presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. Then you can go to the source of information and get more into details. So that I will not go to the summary because it was already presented in the my short video. Let's go to into details. This video will be much longer, of course. The main cause of aging at the body level is an increase in stiffness of the blood vessels due to cross-linking of collagen and elastin fibers by sugar molecules. Stiffness of blood vessels slows down blood circulation and oxygen supply to tissues to the level of chronic oxygen shortage, or hypoxia. In conditions of chronic hypoxia, mitochondria produce less energy and more reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species may damage the membranes of organelles and ignite apoptosis or death in the cell. To reduce the production of reactive oxygen species, cells shift to the production of energy by glycolysis, which is the conversion of glucose to pyruvate and lactate. The accumulation of lactate in the cytoplasm reduces pH and acidifies the environment. Acidity and high concentration of reactive oxygen species may result in misfolding and damage of proteins. Eventually, some cells stop their physiological functions in tissues and start to produce pro-inflammatory signal molecules that are so-called senescent-associated secretory phenotype to increase blood circulation locally because of inflammation. So at the cellular levels, signs of aging include mitochondrial dysfunction, the accumulation of misfolded and damaged proteins in cells, and the transition to the senescence, of cells to the senescence. And at the tissue level, aging includes loss of elasticity of all tissues and bone joints, chronic hypoxia and inflammation, disrupted signaling between cells and extracellular matrix, accumulation of waste products and toxins, and eventually organ dysfunction. At the body level, aging includes slower metabolism, stem cells exhaustion, gradual deterioration of the immune and hormonal systems, loss of muscle mass and decreased bone density, compromised vision and hearing, and reduced cognitive abilities. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a medical intervention involving the inhalation of 100% of oxygen, so pure oxygen, within a pressurized chamber. Traditionally, it was used for conditions such as decompression, sickness, carbon monoxide poisoning, and chronic wounds. Recent studies propose potential anti-aging effects of this hyperbaric oxygen therapy, specifically in countering telomere shortening and cellular senescence, which are two indicators of biological aging. By the way, this telomere shortening is it's difficult to measure, and it cannot be a sign of aging because mostly our immune system contributes to telomere shortening, but immune cells, the amount of the immune cells and the new cells are coming, so it is not reliable. No, however, they claim that cellular senescence was reduced. Okay, telomeres are the protective caps at chromosome ends that safeguard DNA integrity, undergo shortening with each cell division, and are associated with cellular senescence. Again, it is mostly for immune cells. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is administered in a closed chamber, gradually increasing pressure to about 2.5-2.8 atmosphere, equivalent to depth 15-18 meters. The treatment duration varies from 45 to 300 minutes, with patients receiving up to 60 sessions. A study found that 60 sessions over 90 days decreased senescent cell percentage by average 35%. Again, this is a good question, how they measure that decreased senescent cell, because if you kill with analytic senescent cells, then you will definitely people see a better improvement and better health and more energy, but was it was it experienced by people, or I don't know. There was no indication about this. So they use these huge chambers to pressurize oxygen inside, and so people sit inside and breathe pure oxygen. So again, oxygen enriched air, such as that used in recreational diving with nitrox. So this is nitrox is nitrogen and oxygen blend, has been linked to a reduced fatigue compared to compressed air, to use of compressed air for diving. Recreational diving has many health benefits. It is teaching you to breathe deeply and slowly, which can reduce stress and improve your oxygen consumption. Diving is a great way to get cardio workout, which helps to build muscle strength and endurance. Breathing air with normal oxygen content after exposure to pure oxygen or oxygen-enriched air triggers intermittent hypoxia in the body and increased production of reactive oxygen and nitrogen species by mitochondria, which as signaling molecules participate in the tissue injury repair cascade. This process is also stimulated by arginine, which those bioavailability is a limiting factor for nitrogen oxide synthesis and blood vessel dilation. Okay, so again, this is used by divers. I used it myself, and it is a great way to stay longer underwater. So it's again, it's very nice, very interesting method. Okay, but yet again, not always available. Recent research from Japan has demonstrated the role of in intermittent hypoxia in muscle growth and shown that exposing muscle cells to low oxygen conditions can increase muscle growth compared to normoxia, to normal 21% oxygen content in air. Resistance training under hypoxic conditions improves muscle strength and induces muscle hypertrophy rather than that under normoxic conditions. That is, a reduced amount of oxygen in the muscle itself is one of the factors that stimulates muscle growth. They isolated muscle cells and grew them in normoxia with 21% of oxygen, or hypoxia, which is 15, 10, and 5% oxygen for 6 days. Results demonstrated that compared to normoxic conditions, moderate hypoxia, 10 and 15% of oxygen, increased muscle size according to the across the course of 6 days. Okay, so how people use it practically? That resistance training under this hypoxia with reduced amount of oxygen in air, such like this, it helps to build muscles, but also you can just restrict blood flow with some rubber stripes, and then it also helps to grow muscles. Intermittent hypoxia exposure combined with high dose arginine intake, this 2 times per 6 gram, 2 times every time 6 gram a day, in total 12 gram, demonstrated reduced LDL and triglyceride levels. Okay, so you can look at the presentation. So it's arginine. Some people are used for muscle growth. I use it myself, up to 10 gram a day. Actually, it works. I would say it works, and better than growth hormone. Brief episodes of intermittent hypoxia can exchange the production of glutathione and other antioxidant defenses, which protect the tissues from subsequent severe hypoxia or ischemia. So again, you can train your body and you can produce more glutathione, but of course if you get supplements to like NAC. Okay, intermittent hypoxia induces the production of hypoxia-induced factor 1 and insulin-like growth factor, proteins which are working as signal molecules, and also vascular endothelial growth factor, resulting in positive stress responses, increased blood cells production, red blood cell production, elevated hemoglobin levels, angiogenesis, so growth of the new blood cells, blood vessels, and mitophagy. The insulin-like growth factor system that's crucial for the cell growth and regeneration and metabolism it declines with age, and so the intermittent hypoxia-induced elevation of this insulin growth factor levels may counteract age-related muscle strength and organ function loss, presenting anti-aging potential. So this was the conclusion of this publication. Okay, in adult, stem cells primarily reside in specific body regions like the bone marrow. Short daily exposures to hypoxia are known to enhance stem cells migration from the bone marrow to other body parts. So you go look. It's very important because our immune system degrades or degenerates with age because of this compromised cell migration, stem cell migration. Intermittent hypoxia enhances the migration of a specific type of stem cells called very small embryonic-like stem cells, and this is very small embryonic-like stem cells. They are pluripotent, which can they reside in bone marrow, and they can differentiate into various types of cells, any cells. Intermittent hypoxia can also modulate the migration and proliferation of so-called mesenchymal stem cells, which are multipotent stem cells, and they can differentiate into bone, cartilage, muscles, and fat cells. So they are a little bit less unique, a little less universal, but also very important. So this mobilization is proposed to have therapeutic applications in degenerative diseases such as type 2 diabetes mellitus, Parkinson's disease, and osteoarthritis. Okay, so this is short slide what hypoxia is doing and what stem cells it is ignites. So it is really interesting therapeutic tool. So the 2019 Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine acknowledged the groundbreaking work of William Kaelin and Sir Peter Radcliffe and Greg Semenza for their discoveries of how cells sense and adapt to oxygen availability. Their discoveries have opened up new possibilities for opening treatment of anemia, cancer, and other diseases. However, it is now established that exposure to chronic hypoxia has detrimental effects on muscle structure. It is well known that untreated obstructive sleep apnea, hypopnea syndrome, may lead to several aging-associated diseases. Approximately 25% of men and 13% of women suffer from this obstructive sleep apnea, hypopnea syndrome worldwide. Previous studies found that approximately 40% of untreated severe OSAHS patients died during the following period of 8 years. So you see, it's very important to breathe by nose, by the way, because it is not obstructed then, and then also obesity is it's big problem. If you are obese, then you sleep on your back, and then you can get this apnea syndrome. As for me, again, I use some elastic band to keep my mouth shut up. And I sleep mostly on my belly. I mean, I sleep so that I breathe only through the nose, and it helps to sleep better and deeper and recover. So this is 3 scientists who discovered this reaction of cells to intermittent hypoxia or hypoxia itself. Okay, 2 forms of interval training commonly discussed in the literature are high-intensity interval training and sprint interval training. High-intensity interval training refers to intermittent exercise alternating 1 minute to 4 minute exercise bouts at 85-100% of peak power output at maximal, which is calculated for maximal oxygen consumption. So it is, and then it is separated by periods of either passive or low intensity exercise at about like 20-40% of peak power output. okay, to like recovery. But sport sport interval training is different. It refers to intermittent exercise, alternating brief 10 to 30 second exercise only at intensity or velocity if you like rowing or cycling above the peak power output, so you cannot keep it longer than maybe 30 seconds. Maximum power more than that you're getting to this hypoxia, that your muscles consume all oxygen from blood, and then it is separated by periods of either passive or active recovery, but longer than high intensity interval training. So the most widely used high intensity interval training routine includes 4 minutes of high intensity work followed by 3 minutes of recovery. As for sprints, mostly it is used 30 seconds of the all out effort alternated with 4 minutes of recovery, or maybe 8 seconds of this resistance work at maximum heart rate and 12 seconds of recovery. So you can do it different ways. It's not necessary to run it. You can cycling, you can go to rowing, or you can do some resistance exercises, and then but at maximum intensity, at very maximum intensity, so it can be very short. Okay, to put it simply, sport interval training workout may include the exact same exercises as high intensity interval training, like cycling, but the intensity of sport interval training is higher and the rest periods are shorter. No, sorry, it's my mistake. It is actually longer. For SIAT is longer. For high intensity interval training it is shorter. You see, it's recovery for sprint can be 4 minutes. But if you go workout, again, it depends. If you go workout for resistance training, it's only 12 seconds of recovery. So it depends. It depends. You have to decide what fits for you. Okay, mostly it is cycling and rowing are used for high intensity interval training and sport interval training. 8 weeks of this exercise, like cycling, resulted in improvements of anthropometric measures, cardiorespiratory fitness in a group of 49 young active women in age of about 30 years, even in absence of changes in dietary intake. Both protocols appeared to be time-efficient interventions, since high-intensity interval training and sport interval training protocols took 33 and 23 minutes respectively, and with only 16 minutes for high intensity interval training and 2 minutes of sport interval training of effective or real training, not recovery, but only 2 minutes of sport interval training with all the intervals to recover. It's only 2 minutes, and the results were even better than high intensity interval training and better than it would be for aerobic cycling, so cycling below this maximum intensity of your exercise. So in addition, sport again and sport interval training delivered slightly better results than high intensity interval training. Okay, if you short in time, then just practice this sport and then you will get better results. Also for resistance training, if you do resistance training and you can do it, it's a relatively short time, but to the maximum, with the maximum intensity, with the maximum load, and then take time to recover. Okay, then this slide presents benefits of intermittent hypoxia training. This is actually includes both sport interval training and hypoxia, high intensity interval training. So it's again multiple benefits. High intensity interval training and sport intensity training, interval training in conditions of reduced oxygen level in inspired air have gained attention for their potential benefits. A study found that significant improvement in performance and pulmonary gas exchange gains after only 12 sport interval training over 4 weeks. Gains were significantly greater in hypoxic group than a normoxic group. So instead of 21%, hypoxic group used for breathing only 13% of oxygen, and the results were much better. Meta-analysis indicates that 2 weeks intervention featuring high-intensity interval training in hypoxic conditions may enhance maximum aerobic capacity more than in normoxic conditions. Okay, studies show that 8-week high-intensity interval training in hypoxic conditions, so 12% of oxygen in breathing air, improves maximum aerobic capacity slightly better than high-intensity interval training in normoxic. Okay, so you see that I'll go to this. So this how people are breathing this air with less amount of oxygen. So it's again, it needs some special equipment, probably not so easy, but gives good results for some advanced athletes. Okay, research shows that hypoxia seems to play an important role in the process of aging. Pardon? Yes. Okay. Yes. So hypoxia plays an important role in the process of aging. Indeed, chronic hypoxia leads to oxidative stress, accumulation of senescent cells, increased production of pro-inflammatory signal molecules, chronic inflammation, and senile tissue degeneration. So, okay, you can, it's again, this is actually we are aging because of chronic hypoxia, and we have to do something with this, okay? Meanwhile, intermittent hypoxia, defined as short alternating exposure to hypoxia in normoxia, can change body composition and health status with improved exercise tolerance, metabolism, and systemic arterial pressure in older adults on the age 65-75 years. Long-living animals that show slow or negligible aging and they regularly experience intermittent hypoxia due to low oxygen content in inhaled air, like this snake rats, or breastholding underwater, like giant sea turtles and bowhead whales and other whales, and also or otherwise high metabolic demands of flight for birds and bats. So again, practically, again, I believe that practically it is better for humans. It will take not much equipment. If you have a bicycle, you go cycling, or you can go this rowing, or you can go to treadmill and use this sport interval training or high intensity interval training, and in relatively short while you can improve your health and your muscles, etc. I see myself that muscles really grow much better if I use at morning and maybe up to 4 times a day. I use this sport interval training, and then it works. And of course, you have to, if you go like long in exercise, like aerobic exercise for 2-3 hours maybe, then it also works, but not so well for muscle growth. You burning fat because you consume energy, but for burning fat it is good, but not for muscle growth. So again, maybe a combination of both, this aerobic exercises plus this high intensity interval training and sport interval training can be recommended. But again, this is easy way to ignite intermittent hypoxia, and if you use it, you will feel better. But again, what is important, as I said in the beginning, the nitric oxide and your status of your blood vessels. So you better following ketogenic diet, then your endothelium cells will be better, and then your blood vessels will be more better protected from all this vaccine or whatever viruses. and then your glycolysis will work better, and this endothelium cells will produce nitrogen oxide. So, and for production of nitrogen oxide, you watch my previous videos, which is about nitrogen oxide, how to increase production of nitrogen oxide. And no wonder that if you use arginine as supplement, your nitrogen oxide is produced better, and then your results will be even better if you supplement with arginine. Okay, that's you see that again you can go into details and read publications. You can get to your own conclusions would be worthwhile or not to do it. I believe that it is a relatively cheap and relatively easy way to slow down aging and grow muscles and feel good. And okay, so it's again very easy way to improve your health. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I share this my personal opinion on rejuvenation. It may or may not agree with official recommendation. Official recommendation actually recommend this sport interval training and high intensity interval training, highly recommend. But my difference from them, I also say that ketogenic diet, following a ketogenic diet will give even better results. Supplements with ascorbic acid and arginine, it is up to you, of course. But if you follow ketogenic diet with a lot of protein, animal protein, then it is probably arginine is not so important. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you because it helps me to go deeper into this research. Please press like and bell buttons, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family. It will help me to spread this information on this important topic. And again, I believe that in future artificial intelligence will contribute to this healthcare very much. But for the moment, situation is such that artificial intelligence follows official medical recommendations, and official medical recommendations are for people with it will help you, it will help, of course, but then if you follow official medical recommendations, then you are not supposed to live longer than 122 years. For me, why my opinion, why my recommendations are very much different, because I work on myself to live much longer, a few hundred years, maybe to get immortal if it is possible. So again, it is, and then I need some extra methods, extra supplements, etc. So, but I think it works. I think it works. But as my friend told me, okay, when you will live 130 years, then you will prove that your method is valid. It is a right method. Okay, then, but okay, whatever. I feel good, and then if you want to be also healthy, why not to use information that I provide here for free. Have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.